Hello and welcome. I'm Professor Phil Tomlinson from the School of Management at the University of Bath, and I'm also the editor of the Policy Debate section of the academic journal Regional Studies. Thank you for joining us for a very special award ceremony for the Regional Studies Editorial Board's best paper published in Policy Debates. Policy Debates is a periodic section in Regional Studies which provides a forum for interdisciplinary analysis and debate about important policy issues of international relevance in urban and regional development. In doing so, it connects academic and practitioner communities by exploring the interface between academic debates and policy design, implementation, and results. We publish papers that engage with major strands of contemporary thinking and that improve our understanding of how and why regional policies work or don't. As a result, papers published in policy debates are generally highly cited and receive a high number of downloads, not only by scholars, but also by policy practitioners and policy think tanks. I'm delighted to announce that the award for Best Regional Studies Policy Debates paper published in 2024 goes to Mireia Abreu of the University of Cambridge, Flavio Comín of Ramon Llull University in Spain, and Calvin Jones of Cardiff University in Wales, for their paper entitled A Capability Approach Perspective on Regional Development. This is a truly excellent and insightful paper that ticked all the boxes required and more for publication in policy debates. So on behalf of Regional Studies, welcome to Mireia, Flavio and Calvin. Would you like to say a few words, Mireia?
Well, thanks very much, Phil. Really honored to have received this prize. I think I'll hand over to Calvin and Flavia in a minute, but I think speaking for all three of us, it was a lot of fun to write this paper. I think it started with a chat and then it evolved, and I think it took several years for us to work out exactly what we wanted to say. But the aim was to say something about the ethics of regional development policy. And so it was a pleasure. We did work and rework this paper before submitting it, and then yeah, and received some really good feedback from the journal as well. So thanks very much. Shall I hand over to Calvin?
Okay, thanks very much. Yeah, thanks, Phil. Thanks to the journal and everyone involved in getting this published. As Mireia says, this is quite a complicated paper to think about and write because it's quite conceptual, and at the same time, we wanted it to be potentially of importance to policy and practicable rather than something which just sat there in a journal and didn't go anywhere. So we think we got there in the end, and we think it's a useful paper. And it's really nice to have it in regional studies because regional studies remains a sort of place where you can publish things which are both hopefully new, novel, and maybe important, but actually connect to policy audiences in a way which I think is becoming increasingly rare in academia. So yeah, thanks to everybody, and particularly to my fellow authors who shoulder most of the burden of the actual writing.
Now, if I may add just some few lines, just repeating a little bit uh, what my colleagues have said, but it was a joy to work with Maria and Calvin, the kind of project that's really exciting, intellectually exciting. Thank you so much, the Regional Studies Association, for that. And I simply wanted to add that when we are assessing whether people are doing well or not, there are some options, like asking them directly, so subjective information, or seeing what kind of resources they have, or whether we have written on paper whether they have rights or not. But here we explored an alternative, what people are really able to be, able to do. But it's more than that. It's a concern with social justice, a concern in assessing how people are based on fairness and equality and impartiality. So I think the paper adds to this discussion of regional inequalities, an approach offers an approach that ultimately is concerned with social justice. But thank you so much. It was really a joy and an honor to get this award.
Thank you. And congratulations again to all of you for joining me today. I'd also like to thank all the reviewers and other contributors to policy debates and regional studies over the last 12 months. Regional studies continues to go from strength to strength, And in the policy debate section, we're looking to publish more innovative policy-facing and salient papers that seek to shape regional and urban region policy debates. Full details of the types of paper we accept are on the Regional Studies website. Thank you all for joining us virtually today, and I hope to see you in person at a Regional Studies event soon. Goodbye.